Are vampires real? It's a question that has fascinated and terrified people for centuries. The idea of immortal beings who feed on the blood of the living has been a popular myth in many cultures, but is there any truth to it? The concept of vampires has been around for thousands of years, with legends of blood drinking creatures appearing in various cultures around the world. In fact, the word vampire itself comes from the Slavic language, where it originally referred to a revenant or a being
that has returned from the dead.
Throughout history, there have been numerous reports of supposed vampire sightings.
And attacks from the infamous
Case of Countess Elizabeth Bathory, who was accused of bathing in the blood of young girls to retain her youth,
to the more recent accounts of
people claiming to have been bitten by vampires in modern-day society. The idea of these supernatural beings continues to
capture the imagination.
But despite the many myths and legends, there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of vampires. The idea of immortal beings with superhuman strength and a thirst for blood may make for thrilling tales in books and movies, but in reality, there is no credible proof that such creatures walk among us. Many of the traits and abilities typically associated with vampires, such as aversion to sunlight, heightened senses, and the ability to transform into bats, are purely fictional and have no basis in fact. And while there are medical conditions, such as porphyria or Renfield syndrome, that can result in symptoms that may resemble some aspects of vampire lore, these are rare and do not reflect the supernatural abilities attributed to vampires. In the end, the question of whether vampires are real is largely a matter of belief and folklore. While there are certainly those who claim to have encountered these creatures, the absence of concrete evidence means that the existence of vampires
remains firmly in the
realm of myth and imagination. So the next time you find yourself
wondering about the existence of vampires,
remember that the truth is likely far less sensational than the stories would have you believe, while the idea of immortal blood drinkers may continue to capture our fascination. The evidence simply doesn't support the reality of their existence.